In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to use Cash App for investing so that you can start making some money investing in the stock market. If you have any additional questions throughout this video, I encourage you to leave those down in the comments below and I will answer every single one of them for you. If you'd like a free $5 through Cash App, then use my link down in the description of this video to open up an account. Once you open up an account, when you send $5 to someone, Cash App will automatically give you a free $5 and deposit it into your account. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and open up your Cash App app. And once you're in there, to get in the investing side of things, you're going to press on the squiggly line down there at the bottom right. So we're going to go ahead and press on that. And this is going to take you to the investing side of things with Cash App. Now, as you can see, I have $171.82 in my investment portfolio at this point in time. Just to be aware, I am filming this on a weekend, so none of these numbers are moving, but if the stock market was open, then these numbers would be fluctuating because they usually do throughout the day. The stock market, just so everyone's on the same page, is open Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, unless there's a national holiday, it will also be closed, so it's the weekend. So everything's kind of standing still at this point, so my numbers are pretty straightforward, and that's why I wanted to wait to film this. So if you haven't invested any money yet, then these numbers won't necessarily be there because you haven't invested anything, but once you do, it'll start to look like this. So I'm going to break it down so you're aware of what you're going to be looking at once you start buying and selling stocks, which I'll show you how to do that later in the video. So we're going to scroll down, and this is going to give you some details on my investments. So as you can see, I have a total amount invested of $131.45. That is how much of my own cash that I've put into my investments. And since I've invested, I have gains of $40.37. So $131.45 plus the $40.37 would equal, scroll up, the $171.82. So that's where that total is coming from. So let me scroll back down, and based on my investments, we can go into some more details as well. So if we actually press the three dots right there, this is going to give you a breakdown of my lifetime performance with investing in Cash App. So we'll start at the top with my current investments. As I said, currently invested $131.45, unrealized gains $40.37, and the unrealized gain percentage is 30.71%. Now, one thing I want everybody to be aware of is the $40.37 might not look like a lot to most people, but you have to realize it's all based on the amount that you initially invest. So if I only invested $131 and I have a $40.37 gain, which comes out to a 30% gain, which actually 30% is a lot. That's really good. So that's one thing I want to stress to everyone watching this is don't necessarily look at the dollar gain that you have. Pay attention to the percentage gain that you have because that is the most important. 30% return is outrageous. Now, this is in the short term and it could go down a little bit over time, but 30% is awesome. I would say 10% is really good as well. Average is about 7%. So you usually want to look for about a 7% return, 7% or above return, and then you're usually good to go over the long term. But right now, 30%, and it's all based on how much you have invested. So if you're someone who has $1 million invested and you have a 30% gain, that means you've got a $300,000 gain. That's what 30% is. But it's all based on how much you can invest. And anyone starting out usually can't invest a whole lot of money, so don't be discouraged by if you can only invest a small amount in this point in time. It usually takes time to build up a portfolio. I'm someone who actually has 6 figures invested in the stock market. I'm not at $1 million yet, but I'll eventually get there. But the reason that I got to that 6 figures is because I've invested over time for years and years. So always keep that in mind and don't get discouraged. If you haven't done it yet and you're getting some value from this video, please do me a huge favor and smash that thumbs up button. Now, the reason that it says unrealized gains is because that's how much I've earned so far, but I haven't actually sold. Therefore, I haven't actually earned this money yet. I haven't actually earned this $40.37. So it's kind of like paper money, right? I'm up $40.37 on paper, but not in my bank account. Now, if I went to go sell, then yes, I would have earned $40.37. So that's what the unrealized means. Now, once I sell those stocks and I cash out that money, those would be my realized gains, which if you look under sales right there, you've got value at sale, value at purchase, and realized gains. So these are all stocks that I've sold in the past. So in the past, I sold at a value of $16.34. I had purchased them at $14, which gives me a realized gain of $2.34, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the realized gain when it comes to percentage is 16, almost 17%. Like I said, 17% is pretty darn good, or 16.71 is pretty darn good. Anything above 7%, I take. That's really good. Even though it only says that I made $2.34, which you're like, what? That's like a pack of gum. I get it, and I agree. So that's why you need to focus on the percentage gain or the percentage loss, because those are the most important. Now, if I would have lost money, then my realized gain would have been negative, right? Instead of plus 16.71%, it would be negative whatever percent. So we'll scroll down a little bit more, which I didn't need to scroll down. And these are my all-time totals. So these are my totals with my unrealized gains, so what I haven't sold yet, plus my realized gains. So all-time invested, $145.45. So then my unrealized plus my realized earnings in dollars when we're talking about dollars, sorry, I can't talk right now, is $42.71. So in a percentage, we're looking at 29.36%. And there you go. And then at the very bottom, you see my dividends. So there's some companies that pay out dividends. If you want an idea of what dividends are, I do talk about it when I talk about how to buy or how to make money using Cash App Invest, which I'll link that video above my head and down in the description as well. So we're going to go ahead and scroll back up. We're going to X out of this area so I can show you some more things. X out of this. So this takes us back to that main screen. We're going to start up there. Now let me scroll down. Oh, I forgot to mention, here's the graph of how my investments are doing. So there's the 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, and then all time. So as you can see, it's been going up over time. Now the reason for that is because I've been investing consistently. That's why, over time. I first started investing in Cash App when it kind of came out. So in 2019, at the end of 2019, there's the dates right there. And to take a look at the actual dollar amount, what you can do is where you see the graph, tap your finger on there and keep your finger held in. Now, if you do that, you're going to start to see these numbers change, right? So it's going to give you the amount that you have in your account, or invested, I should say, at these certain days. So May 28th, I have $80.34. That's what my portfolio is worth at that point in time. And it's actually on that day up 7.16%, which is $5.90. Next, we've got my portfolio. So this is what's in my portfolio at this point in time. Let me say I'm not recommending that you buy any of these stocks. I have certain goals when it comes to investing. You might have different goals from me. My financial situation is different from yours. So just because I'm holding these doesn't mean that you should. I'm just kind of showing you what I've got right now. And just to give you an idea, I am a long-term investor. I usually like to buy and hold stocks for long periods of time. I'm talking 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, for a very long time. So I don't plan on selling a lot of these companies unless I see something going really bad with one of them. Then I might, and that's why I would sell. But it's not very often that happens. So here's a list of my portfolio. Now you'll see the percentage change along the right-hand side there. So what that means is that's what the percentage change is for the day. So since I'm filming this on a weekend, this is what it was for Friday. So for example, as of Friday, Rocket Companies was up 4.87%. Spotify was up 2.7%. If I scroll down, Apple was down 0.16%, and so on and so forth. Now, if this was the middle of the day and the stock market was open, you would see those numbers fluctuating throughout the day because the stock market is open, people are buying and selling, prices are going up and down. So that's what that would be all about. So here's all of my holdings within my portfolio. Now, another thing that's pretty cool is you can actually go into each of these holdings to get an idea of what your return has been for a specific stock that you own. So we're going to go ahead and let's pick Apple. It's down right now, but let's see what I've invested. Let's see what my return is. So we're going to click into Apple. And this is going to show you the chart. So the top right, you can see how much I have invested total, $20.44. Now you can actually get a graph of what Apple has been doing. So here's all time, and this gives you a real-time view. As I said, you can look at what it was on a day-to-day basis. If you tap your finger on the screen and look at it, check that out. In 96, it was 81 cents a share, which is nuts. So we're going to go back to the day. And this is where you can also buy and sell. So because I own this stock, this is where I can buy, and this is where I can sell, which I'll show you how to buy and sell later in the video. So we're going to scroll down, and this is going to show you my investment into Apple. So my investments right here, total invested, I've actually put in $14. Total gain, $6.44. So as I already said before, the $14 I've put in plus the $6.44 would equal the $20.44. That's why you're going to see that total at the top right. Let me scroll back down. So my total investments, if I click on the three dots right there, this is going to tell me how much I've earned on just Apple since I've been investing. So currently invested $14, as we said. Unrealized gains, remember, because I haven't sold yet, $6.44, which comes out to unrealized gains when it comes to a percentage basis, 46%, which, remember I told you, 7% is pretty darn good. That's what you want to be aiming for. But anything above that is amazing. 46% is insane. Now, over the long term, you're going to want to see those larger gains over a 5, 10, 20, and 30-year period. You should be expecting that. But this is really good in the short term, especially because I haven't owned Apple stock for that long. I'm talking maybe 6 months or so. So we're going to keep going down, and because I haven't sold any of my Apple stock yet, that's why under the sales, you're not going to see any realized gains because I haven't sold anything. I plan on holding Apple for a long period of time because I really believe in the company long term. And then at the bottom, just gives you a breakdown of all-time totals. So it gives you my unrealized and realized gains, but in this case, it's going to be what my realized gains are because I haven't actually sold anything yet. And in the very bottom, dividends. So Apple is a dividend-paying company, and I've made 6 cents from them so far. So we're going to go ahead and scroll up. We're going to X out of this, and we're going to go down a little bit more. So another feature that I like about Cash App that they added since I first started using the account or the investing app side of things is they show news on a specific company. So as you can see, there's certain announcements and news articles that websites write that you can kind of look at. So in this case, you've got an announcement about how they did a stock split. You've got an article from Reuters. You've got an article from CNBC, Fast Company, TechCrunch. And what's cool is you can actually go ahead and read the article if you'd like. So I can click on this TechCrunch article, and it'll take me right to the website. So I can read more if there's some news going on that might make you want to buy some more stock or maybe sell some stock depending on the type of investor you are. So in this case, I'm just going to hit done, and it's going to take us back, and you can check all the news. You can even view more news than they show you right here. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit more, and under Apple, it's going to show me how many shares that I own, what the share price currently is as of Friday, remember, because I'm filming this on a weekend, and what the company value is and the ticker symbol as well. If you scroll down a little bit more, you can see there's some activity when it comes to Apple because I've purchased Apple a couple of different times. So if I only purchased Apple stock once, then it would only show one line. But in this case, I've actually purchased Apple stock a couple of times, and it's going to show you when you got paid out a dividend. So in this case, August 14th, I got paid out a 3-cent dividend. If you think about the screen that I showed you a minute ago, I actually earned dividends of 6 cents so far total. But because I've held it for multiple quarters, that's why my dividends overall has been 6 cents and why it said 6 cents in that one screen. So actually, I can actually go and look at when I bought Apple throughout however long I've owned it. So if I click View All, this is going to give me a breakdown of, hey, when did I actually buy these stocks or buy shares of Apple, the dates, and all those kinds of things. And if you click into it more, it'll actually show you the share price what the share price was when you purchased that stock. So when it was on February 3rd, I actually bought $2 worth. And if I click the 3 dots right at the top right, that's going to show me what the stock price was. So it was $324 at that point in time, and it shows me how many shares I bought. Of course, there's no fees when you buy individual stocks. That's why it says $0. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this. We're going to X out of this, and we're going to X out of this again, the activity, and we're going to scroll down a little bit more. It tells you what this stock is featured in. So there's a couple of different categories it's featured in, which that's one way you would find a stock, which I created a video on how to find stocks on Cash App Invest, which I'll link above my head. If you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see a little bit more about the company, if this would be a company that you're not very familiar with. Of course, everyone's familiar. Most people are familiar with Apple, so we kind of know what they do. But if you didn't know what a company did, you click read more and get an idea. You can see who the CEO is, what industry they're in, number of employees, and where they're headquartered as well. So you see all these activities right here, and you see the shares owned, and you see my investment. But that's the reason you're seeing those things is because I actually own the stock. Now, if I didn't own the stock, those types of things wouldn't pop up. So let me show you an example of a stock that I don't own yet and what it would kind of look like, just to give you a quick view. So we'll hit back, and I'm going to go ahead to this main investing screen. I'm going to click the search, and I'm actually going to let's look for DraftKings. DraftKings right here. Here's DraftKings. And because I don't own it, it only shows me the option to buy it, but not sell it. The option instead of sell is follow, which we'll talk about in a second here. So I can go ahead and scroll down. And as you can see, there's a lot less details on this DraftKings because I don't actually own DraftKings. So of course it can't tell me how much I own and what the return is. So in this case, it's just going to show me the about. It's going to show me the current share price, company value, the symbol, and what it's featured in, which category. So if DraftKings was maybe a company that I was like, hey, I want to invest in, what I can do to make sure that I don't forget about possibly investing in them in the future, I can click the follow button. So if I click the follow button, then a company is going to go to my waiting list, or my watch list, so I can keep an eye on them in the future. Because maybe I'm not ready to purchase DraftKings today. So in this case, I'm like, hey, I want to check them out in the future because maybe they're on sale. Maybe the stock price has gone down, and I think it's going to go up long term. So we're going to hit back, and we're going to X out of this. We're going to X out of this. And we're back at the main invest screen. So I'm going to scroll back down. We touched on my investments. We touched on my portfolio. We're going to go down a little bit more. And this is the following. So these are the stocks that I'm following right here. So remember I added DraftKings to my watch list, my following list, same thing. Now these are all the companies that I'm following. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm ever going to buy any of these. For whatever reason in the past, I've wanted to keep an eye on them. That's why I clicked the follow button on some of these. So as you can see, there's DraftKings right there. So they went right to my following list. So I can click on them and maybe I'm ready to buy some of their stock at that point in time. Awesome. I would buy it. And then I'm going to click back. So here's all of the companies that I have my watch list. Now, if there was a company that I wanted to stop following, all I do is I go into, we'll say Kohl's, and I hit unfollow, and I hit back. And if I go back to that screen, see it's gone now. It was right above BlackRock. I think right above BlackRock. I think it's where it was. And now it's gone because I removed it from my following list. So I can keep scrolling down, and then below that, Cash App gives you some details on some stocks that have been moving lately. So most traded monthly. I really like this feature that they show you. Here are the stocks that were bought and sold more over the last 30 days than any other stocks available on Cash App. So you might want to get an idea of, hey, what are some big movers on the Cash App investing stock platform, because it might be a company that you want to purchase at some point. So you can go ahead and scroll through those, and they're going to tell you the percentage as well along the right-hand side of there, of what it did, what the percentage return was during the last trading day. So as of Friday, because I'm filming this on a weekend. So Microsoft as of Friday, as of the end of the day Friday, was up 1.02%. It shows you all those kind of details. Now if we scroll down a little bit more, you see the biggest daily movers. So this was as of Friday. If we were looking at this when the stock market was currently open, then at that point you would see these numbers kind of moving. So biggest daily movers, it'll show you stocks that are up and stocks that are down. Biggest movers in either direction. Keep that in mind. So if a stock is up, you might not necessarily want to invest in them right now because you're trying to buy low and sell high. So you might want to use this part of Cash App investing to find stocks that are big movers in the down direction because you know that the price is down for whatever reason. So maybe you want to get in on it when it's cheaper. So we're going to scroll to the right and look for stocks that might be down. So we've got Big Lots and a couple other ones right there. I don't know what those are. Big Commerce, I don't know what that is. Western Digital, DraftKings, Dillard's, Carnival. Unfollow that. So, for example, we're going to go back to this DraftKings example. So this is the biggest daily mover in the down direction. It was down 7% as of Friday. So we might say to ourselves, you know what? I don't want to buy DraftKings yet because I got some news and I actually think they're going to go down a little bit more. So they're down 7% right now, but let's keep an eye on them because if they go down another 10%, another 7%, I might want to purchase them at some point, but I don't want to purchase them yet. So in that case, we would click on DraftKings. And we're not going to buy right now because we're going to wait a little bit longer. So we're going to hit follow. If we hit follow, once again, it goes back to our following list or our watch list. So we hit back and we scroll up to our watch list. And DraftKings should be there. There it is, following. It's at the very top right there. So there's DraftKings, and we are following them right now in case you want to buy it at some point in the future. If you want one free stock through Robinhood, which could be worth up to $200, then use my link down in the description to open up a Robinhood investing account. I actually got a free stock of Facebook, and my buddy the other day got a free stock of Microsoft, so it's possible to get a very valuable stock. If you're ready to buy stocks on Cash App Investing, watch this video to the top. If you want to know how to sell stocks in the Cash App Investing platform, watch this bot-in video down here. I will also have my Cash App Investing playlist for all other kind of how-tos with Cash App Investing down in the description of this video.